All right, a very big welcome to you, my dear listeners from all over the world. This is The Truth with Ben Jokes, your number one political talk show. Now, we are in March 2025 and poverty continues to worsen as this administration closes in on its second year. We cannot point at one area or aspect of our makeup as a nation that has improved, from the economy to security to education, and even our reputation amongst nations. All have nosedived. Our towns are now bedlams for kidnappings and indiscriminate murder, including the FCT. And of course, no life is bigger than the other, but we expect that certain things should not be found within the Federal Capital Territory. But in the last couple of days, reports coming out of the WIKE and Senator IRETI KINGIBE-led FCT have been nothing but abysmal. Few hours ago, reports began circulating, and this report by Monit NG was accompanied by a picture that underscores the shamelessness and failure of Senator IRETI KINGIBE and WIKE as leaders of the FCT. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that, another terrible update came out of the FCT. This time around, it was Fulani herdsmen who dressed like soldiers. They impersonated the Nigerian military and carried out terrible acts right within the FCT. About a week ago, herdsmen disguised as EFCC staff and invaded a hotel in Niger State, kidnapping many. We thought it was because it was Niger State. Now they have impersonated the Nigerian army and wreaked havoc on traditional rulers within the FCT. A clear proof that nowhere and no one is safe. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video.
The House of Representatives on Tuesday ordered a total shutdown of pornographic websites across Nigeria. The decision was reached during plenary following a motion sponsored by Dalhatu Tafoki of the APC representing Katsina State. Tafoki described the move as necessary to protect societal values, stating that such websites promote adultery. Let's take a look at this video before we come back for a discussion.
Concerned deeply that some of the immediate effect of viewing pornographic contents include A. Causing deception in marriage and which may later on affect family life. B. Promoting adultery, prostitution, and many oral expectations that can result in dangerous, promiscuous behavior. C. Leading to addiction, escalation, desensitization, and the acting out sexually by one person. D. Change of attitude toward oneself and his family. Result 2. 1. Urge the Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC) to direct the internet service providers operating in the country to take immediate steps to block all websites that host obscene and pornographic content.
Well, I mean, when they say Nigeria is cruise, that's what we believe, Nigeria is cruise. Banning pornographic websites, a huge discussion at this moment. I don't know how this will pass because obviously it's bordering on fundamental human rights. Well, the lawmakers also directed the Nigerian Communications Commission to enforce the immediate ban, instructing internet providers to block access under the new directive. I mean, is this what we should be talking about? I mean, there are issues of sexual violence and all of that. We're seeing these sort of reporting. Even just recently, we talked about, those states that have reported sexual violence. And here we have it.
The gentleman saying, and those agreeing with him, that people who watch pornography, they will be adulterous. I think that stretch is a bit too tenuous. Right. I will summarize on that. Out of all the problems in this country disturbing us, high tariffs, bad roads, yes, and all that, one person who had been voted for by Nigerians in his constituency goes to the floor of the House of Reps, yeah, and the most intelligent thing that can come out of his brain is to be asking for laws to regulate adultery. No, we expect a higher level of seriousness in the National Assembly. And that's why we are saying that Nigerians have to take more seriously the leadership recruitment process.
Right.
What kind of people do we vote for and elect to go and speak for us in Parliament?
All right.
We should not be giving positions in Parliament to clowns who do not know what is important and what is not urgent.
All right. Well said, Dr.
This kind of legislation cannot be an issue of urgent national importance. They should step it down and focus on more serious business.
Especially from this man who is from Katsina State, the issues of insecurity, sexual violence, and all of that. I mean, this really isn't what we should be focusing on at this point. I actually do agree with you.
Reuben Abati and other members of the Arise crew there reacting to that unserious and hypocritical bill by that honorable member. I call it hypocritical because I believe that if you are allowed to run a check on that honorable's private life, you will find dirtier habits than the one he is condemning. And there is no guarantee that even he does not patronize pornography. And don't get me wrong, ban pornography if you would, because it is bad in diverse of ways. But ban stealing too, ban corruption, ban extortion of poor Nigerians. You can't be the chief perpetrators of the hideous crimes that I just mentioned and then you expect us to clap for you because you moved a motion against pornography. It is just pure stupidity on the part of that honorable member. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that update from Monit NG, accompanied by a picture that underscores the failure and the shamelessness of Nyesom WIKE and Senator IRETI KINGIBE as FCT leaders. And next is that scary update from the same FCT. Herdsmen impersonated the Nigerian army and wreaked havoc on traditional ruler in the FCT. Let's start by taking that update from Monit NG. Look at how the papers reported it. Another FCT Abuja school in shambles as pupils learn on bare floor, lack facilities, Sahara reporters. A civic technology platform, Monit NG, has raised alarm over the appalling state of LEA Nuruddin Nursery and Primary School, Karu, in Abuja, calling for urgent intervention from the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom WIKE, and Senator IRETI KINGIBE. The platform in X post on Wednesday highlighted the lack of basic amenities in the school, stating that students are forced to sit on the bare floor due to the absence of desks, while teachers have neither chairs nor tables. The institution also lacks proper fencing, whiteboards, and essential learning materials, creating an unconducive environment for education. The pupils of LEA Nuruddin Nursery and Primary School, Karu, Abuja, are learning in unbearable conditions, Monit NG stated in its appeal. They sit on the bare floor due to lack of desks, while teachers have no chairs nor tables. The school has no proper fencing nor whiteboards and lacks basic learning materials. Old classrooms are falling apart and an abandoned building project remains unfinished, leaving the children without a safe and conducive learning environment. The group stressed that education should empower rather than hinder children and called on authorities to address the situation without delay. No child should have to learn under such deplorable conditions. We call for urgent intervention to renovate the school, provide essential facilities, and complete the abandoned projects. These children deserve better. Fix Karu School. Now, take a good look at this picture. Look at it very well. This is right here in the Federal Capital Territory. Pupils sitting on the bare floor because they want to learn. And the buildings are collapsing. It is until the building collapses and it kills like 30. That is when they will now begin to pretend as if they are mourning. They will now go to their families and go and give them 150,000 naira each. Then you tell me that these men are not evil. You tell me that these men are not demonic. And this is just one of many of these kind of eyesores. It was in this same FCT that WIKE took over 20 billion naira to build houses for judges. About 21 billion naira to build a house for Shetima. It was in this same Abuja that corrupt politicians gathered and donated 16 billion naira for IBB's library. But look at the deplorable condition that pupils, that children have to learn under. It's so pathetic. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that update on herdsmen impersonating the Nigerian army to wreak havoc in the FCT began making the rounds. Look at how the papers reported it. Gunmen in military uniform abduct traditional ruler in Abuja, 2 grandsons, 5 others, Sahara reporters. The village head of NACO in Buhari Area Council of Abuja, HRHSU Yuda Garba, has been abducted alongside 2 of his grandchildren and 5 other residents of the community. A resident, Mr. Tanko Baba, confirmed the incident on Tuesday, stating that the kidnappers stormed the community around 12:03 a.m. He identified the kidnapped grandchildren as Ephraim and Philemon. Baba told Daily Trust that the armed kidnappers carrying AK-47 rifles first raided 4 houses, abducting 5 people before proceeding to the residence of the village head. Some of the attackers, dressed in military uniforms, broke into the house, seized the traditional ruler, and took away his sleeping grandchildren amid sporadic gunfire. He added that one of the victims, Nicholas, had just returned from the hospital where his wife had given birth when he encountered the kidnappers. Mr. Nicholas, who is my cousin, just returned from the hospital where his wife gave birth when he ran into the kidnappers, Baba said. The kidnappers escaped with the victims before soldiers arrived at the village, although Baba noted that security forces were still pursuing them. Witnesses revealed that the attackers operated for nearly 30 minutes before firing gunshots as they fled, possibly to deter any pursuit by security personnel. A police source in Buhari confirmed the incident but directed inquiries to the command for further details. However, attempts to reach the spokeswoman of the FCT Police Command, Superintendent Josephine Ade, were unsuccessful at the time of filing these reports. Attempts to reach them are always unsuccessful because even they don't know what to tell journalists again. They don't know what to tell the media again because the people enabling these kidnappers are from the very top. That is it. Let us just be honest with ourselves. These guys are being enabled from the very top. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by The Truth Only says, with all the billions budgeted for security every year in this country, insecurity is the order of the day. The former chief of army staff bought mansions in Dubai after leaving the office. Nigerian people's enemies are their leaders. Take time to study Nigeria budget every year and you understand that these trillions always end up in individual private accounts for personal stroke family use. That is it. I told you the other day that all I need to know about a year, if the year is going to be successful or not, is just to look at the budget. Once I look at the budget of a year, I can tell if generally for Nigerians it's going to be a good year or not. And I looked at the 2025 budget and I saw that it was a budget of the elites. Nothing for the common man. And this tweet here says, APC propaganda said insecurity is a thing of the past. But here we are with insecurity getting worse. Tomorrow, you would hear repentant Boko Haram stroke bandits. That is it. These guys that wrecked this havoc in Abuja now, let them catch them tomorrow. They will still say they've repented and they will rehabilitate them with heavy money. And this tweet here by Chef Benny says, and when they apprehend them tomorrow, they take them to rehabilitation center. So how do you think the terrorists are ever going to stop? When you don't punish them, you in fact pamper them. And Cute Stoner here says, this can't be happening. We just celebrated the end of insecurity few days ago. That's a sarcastic one there. He's being sarcastic because few days ago, some, army chiefs came out, gathered people and began, giving account of how far they've gone in terms of conquering insecurity. But look at what is happening within the FCT. These ones were dressed in military uniforms. You don't know other places that they've been to. We don't know the other havocs that they've wreaked. Even the people supplying them all these arms, we don't know how the arms are coming into this country. These are strong indications that these guys are connected to the top. They are now all over Nigeria wreaking havoc. And as it appears, our security forces are unable to stop them. But you and I know that if they have the full backing of the APC-led government to bring this insecurity to an end, it will not take this country more than 3 to 5 months. But because these guys are complicit, that is why it is looking as if the hurdle of this insecurity is insurmountable. And that is why I keep telling Nigerians that for us to totally put an end to this problem of insecurity and even other problems for that matter, we must get the APC out of power, because they were the ones that aggravated these problems to this level. They are working hand in hand with everybody connected with all the problems that we have. And if Nigerians can say enough is enough, come together and put their sentiments aside, they will be able to take their country back. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because not because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go.